All right, I think that I'm gonna start seeing these bush models in my sleep. Glutton for punishment over here. That's close to 100 of them, and I've done 2 layers of 6.5 mil static grass, and then a single layer of 4 mil. And that's what they look like right after the application of 4 mil. And I'm planning to use some, not all, some of those up here on our scene. So let's get to it. I want to finish those up. I want to work on my technique here. I have not combed this out. I haven't vacuumed up the loose bits yet of this static grass, but just doing a little bit more research. I think I want to go in here and maybe move my hands through it a little bit as I'm laying it out to make some clumps and some thicket looking material. And I do want to kind of work on that, start working on these slopes, and just start adding some detail to this very raw scene. So let's get to it this week. All right, continuing along with some scenery materials. This is just one of those Ashland Mats I've been talking about. And I came through and where kind of in like areas like there, where the black was showing through, I hit that with flat earth. And then from the side, I kind of sprayed across, sort of horizontally across, to try to catch the highlights, the longer blades, with a buff color. And so that's kind of what it looks like. And I think that'll work pretty well. I haven't used it yet. It's still, you know, all together as a mat. But for comparison's sake, I've got it right next to one that I didn't spray. So you can see the difference. This is just straight green, lush, you know, a golf course or something. And the texture's there, but I just think it needed to be toned down like that. Yeah, maybe I went overboard, I don't know. It's pretty drastic when you see them side by side, but that actually looks, if I take this unpainted one away, is much closer to what I've already been doing, you know, with the teddy bear fur. And even if I pan over this way to that static grass, it's got more of that kind of brown going on. So I'm gonna try to use this, and that's what it looks like after some airbrushing. Seriously, I'm gonna see these things in my sleep. But I am liking how they're coming together. I've done the sort of the last step, I think, before flocking, and that's just getting some umber painted up underneath them. So I continue to kind of work on this on the workbench while I'm starting to blend in and work in some different textures and such on the overpass. Just a little in progress. These are just kind of laying in there, but these are furnace filters that I added texture to and painted up a while back. I feel like they make a nice sort of overgrowth on the embankment. So I'll kind of work to blend that in back there, and some grass in the flat areas, and bushes and tufts and all sorts of things. And then over here, starting to kind of play around with different textures and what I can work into the static grass. This is some more of the furnace filter material like over there. These are the mats from Michael's that I've painted a little bit. Probably need to do a little bit more on them. But not bad. Not bad for $7.50. Figure out how to work them in. Got a little piece of Hecky wild grass mixed in there. I like those to blend between one texture and another. I feel like they really do a nice job of that. So just kind of playing around a little bit. I've also got, I've probably shown this before, but over here I dug this out. This is coconut coir that, you know, got painted, and lots of flocking and different textures and things added to it as well. I don't know if I'm going to need that big of a piece, but I might tear a few pieces off of that, kind of working on this embankment on this side and a little bit in here. I also, as you may notice, cut in a little bit more river coming off the road here. Sort of the ditch coming off, goes down the hill, and then into the creek there. So now the creek sort of has a reason for being. I think I might leave this in here, but maybe make it like dry or put some cattails in it. But probably put some water effects down in the main part of it. So lots more to come. This is the part I really enjoy. So having fun starting to lay some things out. These aren't glued down, but the rest are. So, right, fortune favors the bold. So I glued them down. Now I have to work them in. More to come. Right, big change up here, quite obvious. There's riprap there now. So that's all glued down. I might add a little more along the edges there. Definitely working in some weeds here and there in that. And I have committed, well, I say committed, it's not glued down, but that big piece of coconut coir, I'm gonna stick it right over there. And I'll probably come along the edge there and cut it so that it fits down against the backdrop better. And then I'll probably stick some trees in there. I've got some stuff up my sleeve there, but maybe some of the excess piece that I cut off with the one flat side, I can then bring and stick on the embankment on the back over there. I feel like this side's pretty good over here. I need to blend in some grass and stuff at the bottom still. But I'm liking how this is all starting to come together. That's everything top side that I've been doing. If I come down onto the workbench, I've started flocking some of those bushes I've been making and kind of labeling what's what. So across the top, I've got some Hecky leaf that I've been using. I think the one on the left's probably too bright, but the other two are looking pretty good. I have 3 different varieties of Hecky. And the second row is just various super leaves. I use olive, which is on the left there, and then I'm not sure which is which, but spring green and medium green. And I think these, you get it up in the light, that's pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. Maybe need a little bit of work here and there, but I think the effect is pretty good. And then if I were to turn it, I'm not gonna plant this whole thing like a little fruit tree, but if I cut the stem off the bottom of it and kind of put it in as a clump, kind of where the ground is where my thumb is, like that's pretty good. Not overdone with leaves, lots of branches and interesting stuff there. So that one's pretty good. And then surprisingly, my third row here is just Woodland Scenic's fine turf. And so I've got some weeds here that I did. I'm liking, they make really, really small leaves. Look at that fine detail at the top. Like that's just, yeah, I'm liking that. So same idea, I'll probably cut most of the trunk off and then plant it down in so that it's, sorry, my camera's trying to focus on the paint there, but it'd be something like that in the ground. I think that's gonna look good. As I come down here, so that was actually green grass. I have weeds, which look similar. And I tried one with burnt grass too. And that's not bad. It's not bad, it's a different color, different variety maybe. The highlights show up really well where the stuff's painted brown underneath, but some of those are on there. Like that gives it like some really dynamic kind of playing with the light there. The lights and the darks, and kind of mimics what a shadow might look like. So I like that. And then the last one, maybe a bit of a whiff. This is some JTT mixed turf I have. I don't know, I don't like this one as much, especially in the light. It just looks too bright, too toyish. So that's not gonna be a direction I go. Maybe I'll airbrush this one and salvage it, but I don't think I'm gonna use it with that turf. So that's where I am. That's where the experiment with the bushes is going. Lots of stuff going on topside there. I'm gonna keep plugging away, see what else I can get done. All right, further committal. I cut that nice coconut mat down. It's gonna fit back in there nice. That's not glued down yet because I don't have anything to weigh it down with. I've got all my weights and heavy stuff I had laying around sitting right here holding these mats down. So right side of the road, the mats are glued down. Left side, I've cut them to fit. And on the near side, on the left side, on our side of the tracks, I don't have enough of this yet. So my son and I spent some time out on the back porch. It's getting dark out there, but I'll go out there anyway, show you what we worked on. All right, so it's not getting dark. It absolutely is dark out here. But anyway, we ripped up part of a furnace filter, kind of separated them in half, gave it some paint, and then came in with some spray and various textures to make more of that embankment stuff. So this will keep us busy for a while. Some big pieces. Here's my hand for reference. That one's, you know, 2 or 3 times the size of my hand. Some of them are palm sized. And I ran out of brown spray paint. Gosh. But those 3 would have been nice with a flat edge to actually put them on their sides, like growth along the backdrop. So I'll get some more brown paint, get those done. That's scraps. We may try to use that. We may just toss it. I've got 3 or 4 more of these things that came with an old air conditioner we don't even have anymore. So that's what we did out here. All right, well, this is where the week ends. This is as much as I've gotten done. I'm liking how it's coming together. We'll keep working on some scenery detail this week. Y'all stay well and be safe out there.